Hi everyone, welcome to WGSN-DB Going Solo. This is a senior citizens forum sponsored by Benefits for You Too, where they specialize in health insurance for people that are under the age of 65 and for people that are over the age of 65. Please come to Benefits for You Too for your needs. I'm Janice Wood, and this is my guest, Arash Ghodistinat, and Arash is a 20-year experienced person in the information technology area.
Exactly.
Okay, he has educated from Iran. He's had education. He has more education that he's followed up through here from University of Fullerton in Fullerton, California. And tell us, what other education?
Of course. First of all, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. You introduced me. My name is Arash Ghodistinat. I've been in this field more than 20 years. Yes, I was graduated from, got my bachelor in Iran, got my master's in Cal State Fullerton. Went to lots of seminars, classes, did have some seminars regarding security, ransomware, different things, scamming. And also got my PMP from UCI.
Yeah.
So I've been in this field, seen many different experiences, scammings, and all those experiences that we want to talk a little today about it with Janice.
We're going to talk about scamming and fraud, which is one of my pet peeves. I have a couple of pet peeves because I'm a senior and I know I've been targeted. Okay? I get phone calls all the time. I was telling Rush, and I'm going to tell you about a phone call I just got 2 days ago where somebody called me up and said, "Hi, this is Brooke. I understand you just applied for disability through Social Security." Instantly, the red flags went up. First, I recognized it was a computer-generated voice.
AI.
Okay. And second, I know I didn't apply for any disability, and I also know Social Security is not going to call me up with that type of a message. Usually, unless you have an appointment set with Social Security, they're just not going to call you without you setting an appointment. Social Security, Medicare, the IRS, and the governments, even your state governments, they're not going to call you.
That is correct.
That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line. It's very important that anything you receive from phones, emails, even envelope mail, you just double check. Recently, I got a mail from state of California that you owe this much of tax. Right away, I contact my CPA and they said it's a fraud. So I researched on Google. I Googled it and then went to a couple websites, found out that they send it to many people. So even through the mail, we should be very careful. Email as well. If you receive an email from IRS, Social Security, from Microsoft, from anywhere, just make sure you check the from. Any email that you receive has from and to. So if you click on from, you will see. Sometimes you see a very strange name like ABCDEFG at something.com, but the name in front of it is someone that you know or is from some valley like Facebook, Microsoft, or one of these companies, and they tell you to click on the link to gather your information. So be very careful about that as well.
You have to be really careful because not only do you get it in the mail, your email, your telephone calls, even I get text messages that I know that are scams. And with technology constantly changing.
Exactly.
Okay? So I was also telling Arash earlier, I was trying to do some research for this show and get statistics, and the change from one year from another year, I couldn't bring up any statistics, but I was finding a lot of people are willing to help you out to solve this problem. Okay? I don't know who these people are. So Arash is going to give us some ideas on, what questions to ask.
Sure.
You do that. Also, I was finding people that want to teach you how to do scam and do fraud. It's a major billion-dollar business.
Yep, that is totally right. So there are a couple of things we want to talk about.
Yeah.
The first thing you mentioned was the phone and email. Let's first of all go over one very important thing that people, all of us have issue right now, which is password. Because we have many passwords for different things. We have passwords for banks, for our financial, for our emails, for social media, for many things. And it is very important that we use a password tool or password software that's secure and can provide us, the information when we need it. The best way, the old way, is paper and pen, but you have to have a discipline to whenever you need it to look at it. But there are a couple software that you can use and bring back your password. Second thing is, as far as the security, to prevent lots of frauds or multi-factor authentication. We talked about it in our previous show, but I just want to refresh the memory.
Please.
Multi-factor authentication is, let's say you log into your bank account and you set it up as multi-factor to get a text message through your phone, cell phone, a very something that you trust, like either your phone or your email or something, or authenticator. We don't want to go to authenticator; it's a little more complicated. For now, let's stick with text message. So when you set it up, when you log in, each time you log in, they will send you a text and they send you a code, and you type that code and you get it. I highly recommend for everything set up multi-factor authentication, even for your emails. Why emails? I'll give you a very quick story. My friend's email was hacked, and there are lots of people think, okay, it's email. But usually we send our very critical information through email, like our ID, sometimes social security, our pictures. Lots of information is in our email. So unfortunately, they hacked his email, grab all the information, hack his bank account, and hack his eBay and a couple more things, and then took out some money. So that's why it's very important. Email, anything, even your gas bill, electrical bill. If you can do multi-factor, do it. That's very beneficial.
One of the things I noticed, taking a little bit different area, is that all these medical groups are using something like, oh my God, I forgot the name of it. I use
the
it all the
authenticator?
time. Yeah, where your
code
information,
yes.
all your health information is on a server of some kind.
Correct.
All right, and you can go into my chart. That's the word I want to use.
Yes.
Into my chart, and you can find, everything in there about your health is in there.
In there, correct.
All your personal information is in there. So I know with my chart, I always ask them to send me a code.
Code, exactly.
But one of the things that in my chart is that I actually have it on my phone. So it's a picture ID.
Correct.
So is
Face
that
recognition.
as safe?
Face recognition actually is very safe. If you ask me, can they hack it? Yes, everything can be hacked. But the face recognition is very secure. I'll give you a very quick example, so it's more understandable for everyone. Let's say you have a big house and then you have a big yard. You want to make sure your yard, the gate in the yard, is very secure. So you put guards, you put the dog guards, whatever you
the
just
cameras,
the ADT ring, whatever you can. So you don't want them to pass. But if they pass that, now you want to make sure your windows, doors, everything has security as well, because someone may pass it with all those guards. So the more security we have for our devices, for our logins, the better result we will get. So definitely face recognition, multi-factor, and different ways. It is a little more advanced, but these two, face recognition and multi-factor, are the keys, are a necessity. It's not like it's too hard, I don't want to do it. You will save lots of time if you do it, lots of time and money. Okay. If you do it in advance.
Now, I'm going to go back to something that you said a few minutes ago. You were talking about passwords and codes. So if I go into my computer, if I can't remember a password, which goes on all the time, all right, is it safe when I go in there? Can somebody hack that list of passwords that I have in my computer?
Usually those passwords save encrypted.
Okay.
Means it's they cannot just get it and then read it. But there are also some encrypt software, or there are tools that they may be able to get it. So what I do and what I suggest everyone to do, don't save it on your computer, save it on the third party app or device or pen and paper. So nothing in your computer. So I use a couple of things, 1Password, LastPass, and even LastPass was hacked a couple months ago, but hacking means they didn't get your password or my password. They got it as encrypted file. It's very hard to decrypt it because they use a very high technology, but they can even hack them. But the more you use these security tools, and then with the authenticator, it's harder for the hackers to grab it. But I personally use an app to save my passwords, and I use the authenticator app to get the codes.
Okay.
So, for example, I think I shows you if I want to log in, I will show it to the screen.
Yeah.
This is my authenticator.
You want to turn it around?
Yeah,
So
let me just do the Face ID first.
Okay.
These are, if the light is not that good, but these are all the codes for each website that I'm using, for my email, for my financial, for different things. So these codes will expire every 30 seconds. It expires every 30 seconds, and then a new code will be generated. So technically, it's very hard for the hackers to hack these because it's a new code will be generated every 30 seconds. So this is the best formula to use for your the logins, but text message is very, very good as well. So I highly recommend for everything use multi-factor, even though it's a little harder, sometimes a little annoying because you always have to wait for something to come and double password technically. But these days it's necessary.
It's an extra step, but it may save you a lot of time and a lot of heartache later on down the road.
Exactly.
Okay.
One announcement from Microsoft just came out very soon, I think April 27th. Whoever used Microsoft Office 365 for their email service, they will force everyone to use multi-factor authentication no matter what. So if you don't set it up, and one day you log in, it tells you now you choose what phone you want to use or what app you want to use. Make sure if it's app usually is a little more complicated, safer but more complicated, you choose the phone, put your cell phone, get the code and put it back in, and it should be good to go. Okay.
This information that you're getting right now is so important because more and more every day people are getting hacked. Your Facebooks get hacked. Your emails get hacked. I mean, it happens all the time. I think in the last couple of weeks I've had 4 people contact me saying, I've been hacked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I have 2 more stories. 2 friends, different friends.
Right.
One, his Facebook was hacked. Second one, his WhatsApp was hacked.
Oh.
They posted things that they blocked their account and he couldn't get it back. So he had to open a new account, and the other friend had to change his phone number for WhatsApp because WhatsApp gets each phone. So,
well, why don't you explain what WhatsApp is? I use it all the time.
Yeah. Facebook, everyone knows, is a social media. So right after I told everyone for their Facebook, make sure multi-factor again. Right. So put the code, make it secure. But WhatsApp is the app, very famous, bought by Facebook. The story, if you guys want, Google it, WhatsApp, and read this story. It was 2 guys that create this app. No one wanted to help them at the beginning. They went to find job. They didn't. Yeah. Facebook didn't give them job. Eventually, they bought them, and I think $14 million or $18 billion. And WhatsApp is an app that you can send, receive text messages. It's encrypted per them. I mean, they said this. Everything is encrypted. Means very secure. You can call. You can do video chat. You can call multiple people.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I know I use it to call internationally.
Exactly.
And,
that's the way we communicate now
charged.
with different.
But I also get some really weird stuff on it.
You can. It has an option to block or report right away. But again, critical information, try to avoid sending it through text, WhatsApp, email.
Yeah. But I noticed even if you WhatsApp or on just my regular messages, I will get something that will say, "Hi, Andrea."
Oh,
Haven't seen you for a long time. I do not answer them. I delete them.
very good point, Janice. The reason they send you those things, like "Hi, David," then
Right.
you know you're not David. Usually people say, "Oh, it's a wrong message" or something. The reason they send you this, don't even open it. They want to see if your this phone number is active or not, and then they use your phone as a scam phone to call the other people. So if you don't answer, if you see these things, hi, for example, Jane, are you coming to the meeting? Just
Right.
don't reply.
Don't
Delete it. Don't click open it, because even if they see you open it, it shows them that it's delivered open. Just right after, right click and delete it.
Right. And the other thing, that you can get emails, text messages, phone calls saying, we need to have your information for, or something similar to that. I hang up instantly.
That's very good.
I mean, because somebody's going to call you up and say, oh, your Netflix, I get that all the time. I know my assistant gets it all the time. Your Netflix account is being canceled.
Or canceled, exactly. Just click on. So one thing that you brought up very interesting is for phone, the technology is not as advanced as email. With email, let's say you get an email, we have tools and the methodology that we can see who sent you the email, from where the email came from. We can get all the track. We can get all the IP address. An IP address is technically, each computer has an IP. The computer, they're recognized by an IP address. So you can, based on an IP, we know from what location they send that email. So everything we can track and just reverse engineer and then find out what's going on. But with phone, the only thing, just hang up, as you did.
I hang up.
Don't continue, don't reply, don't do anything.
I'm hanging up at least 4 times a day on somebody.
That's very good for you. I mean,
I
10
mean,
times
it's
12.
like, it's annoying.
It's very annoying.
I find it very annoying. I'm in the middle of trying to do some work, and then they
And you
call,
cannot
and I'm
block
like,
them. It's very hard to block those because they use people's phone number. The engineers are working on it right now. For emails, there is a technology. You can block emails, so you can block the whole domain.
but there's a problem with the blocking, okay? Because we have clients call us, and sometimes they'll come through as, this is a spam call.
True.
Okay,
That's right.
and it ends up, it's a person really trying to
Exactly.
contact me that I need. So I have to pick up the phone call, and then I hang
There's
up
no
on.
way. That's the same situation for us.
Yeah.
For phone, there is not you can do. I was talking about email. You can block.
Okay,
It's
email.
a lot easier to, especially when you use the Office 365, G Suite, Google
Right.
for business. For business, it's very easy to block. Even for Google, Yahoo,
Okay.
Hotmail, you can block emails as well.
This is really great information. It's time for us to take a short break and hear from our sponsor, Benefits for You Too. Welcome back to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network. This is a Senior Citizens Forum, and I'm here with Arash Ghodistinat, where we're talking about fraud and scamming.
Exactly.
We just had really good sessions. I'm going to repeat what I always say because I can't repeat it enough. Social Security, Medicare, the IRS, any governmental agency is not going to just call you out of the blue without you setting up an appointment to talk with them. I don't know how, I can say that over and over again. They can call up and sound like they really know what they're talking about. Please don't give anybody any of your personal information that you can't confirm who they are.
Exactly.
And I had a lady several years ago, was when I first got starting selling insurance. She was older at that time, and she said to me, well, this prescription drug company is taking money out of my bank account. And I told them I didn't want their product.
Right.
And I said, well, how did they get your bank account information if you didn't give it to them?
That's exactly right. Very good
So
point.
don't give any of that information. even if your phone carrier calls you up and says there's something wrong with your phone, you hang up and then you call the carrier.
Exactly.
I mean, it's the same thing we were talking about earlier about Netflix or Google. I mean, I get stuff all the time where either Netflix or Google saying, my account is expired. No.
Exactly. No, that's very important. So, first part we talked about things can happen.
Right.
As you said, don't pick up the phone. If you find out that if you saw the email, delete it, remove it, do not do things. One thing is very important, especially at work or home, when you get busy,
Right.
your phone rings and you try to send an email, multitasking. You open an email, but your focus is on the phone, and then you find out that email might be a phishing email, and you click on the link or something, and that's it. You get it. So make sure important things just one at a time, because our life is multitasking and we try to do everything multitasking. I do it myself,
Yeah.
and that's the problem. So make sure you finish one and then go to the next one, then the problem. Now in this part of the session, now what should we do? Let's say we get that email, we clicked on it. Now what? Our bank account was frauded, like mine. 2 months ago, the real story was that 3 months ago, $9,000 from my business account was transferred to Home Depot. I woke up, I saw it at 7 a.m. It happened at 3 a.m. So right away I called, I went, and it was a fraud. How did they get it? You never know. They found a check on the mail, they just did something. So, but you can prevent after you cannot prevent after, but there are actions that you need to do. Don't postpone it. If you see your bank that was fraud, just go to the bank, to the closest bank, call them. If you see your email was hacked, ask a professional, ask someone that know more to definitely change your password, put multi-factor right away, do certain actions. Don't wait, because the more time you wait, the more time hackers have to get your information.
Also, if somebody calls you up
Exactly.
and says, this is so-and-so, I need your information to confirm it's you, I don't do business over the phone, okay? I will call and I will make sure that this is right, because once you give them the information, they now can go in
And do lots of things.
And do lots
they can
of
even
information.
open your phone. They can
Right.
go and say, I'm Janice, I'm Arash, I want to change the SIM card and give me this information,
Right.
and get your phone as well. So that's very important.
Don't give information over the phone to someone you absolutely don't know.
That's
I can't,
100%.
it's just something I can't express more and more. Now in the Medicare world, okay, I get phone calls all the time
Correct.
saying, oh, do you have all the benefits that you need? And once I say, oh, I do Medicare insurance, they hang up faster than me.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
hang up faster than me because they know I know that they're not allowed to call me without me personally giving them permission to call me.
Correct.
Okay? You need to hang up. If you do business with somebody over the phone for Medicare, make sure you know who you're talking to. So like if I go out and I meet you, you're somebody I don't know, I ask you to fill out a card, okay, I'm only allowed to use that information for 6 months.
Wow.
Well, okay. If I get a referral, so Arash gives me a referral, they're supposed to call me,
Exactly.
not me call them.
So you have an expert here, so
Right. So
check with her.
and I get the phone calls because I'm a senior citizen. And it's just really, then I get my clients calling up, I think I made a mistake, okay?
Exactly.
Or they'll say, do I have these benefits? We get those calls all the time.
Right.
Do I have what I need? But you don't have to take those phone calls. And don't give anybody your information, again, who you don't know who they are. And if you did give somebody permission to call you, understand that that is only good for 6 months from the time that you gave it.
That's very good information. I didn't know that, Janice. Thank you for bringing it up. But I just want to say, the more we go to the new era, technology.
Wait a second. I have to go to the new era. Wait a second.
Yeah, call with the.
Can I pick this up?
Yeah.
I have to pick this up. This is a new era.
This is a new era. Walkman.
Walkman.
Phones. So these are the good old days. They couldn't hack these, but for example, this tape that you see, lots of people may know, lots of not. My age, we used to use it. There's one music, 60 minutes or 90 minutes inside that right now with the flash drive, you can have thousands of this in one small flash drive and listen to them for any time you want. But that was the beauty of it. Security-wise was good unless someone steal it from you. Otherwise, they couldn't access to it. But the other things right now, because we're in internet, we're in the worldwide and different new technology. So definitely we should be careful. It's very good. It's very advanced and good to use new things. But we should get some education about it first, as much as possible, a basic education to protect ourselves. It's like we don't want to go buy a very big house or a very fancy car and say, we don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
So it's good to educate ourselves.
One of the things, I'm grabbing this, one of the things, we go out to senior communities and this has face recognition on it, but I also can get into it with a code.
Correct.
I find so many seniors don't have that set up.
Exactly.
And I tell them that you need to set this up.
Right. That's very important. That's one thing that we always talk about in our seminars.
Right.
Password is necessary for your phones. Codes are necessary. And lots of people say, "Oh, thank you. I'm going to put 11111." So no, don't do that. Or 000. Or my password going to be password or admin. Don't use those.
Or your birthday.
Don't use those. Unfortunately, passwords should be complicated. Numbers should be random. Something that you can memorize. You can mix it with your birth date, with your kid's birth date, something mixed up, so no one can recognize it except you and your close ones. So if you want them to have your information. For passwords, make sure you create something that's at least 8 to 10 characters and numbers. It should be mixed with characters, lowercase, uppercase, numbers, and symbols.
I know it's hard to remember. I sit with a notebook, and I've gone through 2 notebooks.
Exactly.
And I have to rewrite them.
To remember the passwords.
To remember, and I have some insurance companies that I deal with that say, you can't use any word that's found in any dictionary.
Correct.
And
That
it's
is
like, what do I do?
We have some formulas that we teach for passwords now, which is helpful, very helpful. We can talk about it in another session, or if someone interested, they can contact us. I can explain them, give them some ways. There are formulas to memorize password. You just have to be careful that what you use, as you said. Just don't use your birthday. For example, my birthday is June 17. Okay, June 17 is my password. No. So you have to mix it up, but there are a couple formulas that can help you provide password. Another thing very important before we forget, do not use the password that you use, for example, for your Yahoo. Don't repeat it for your bank account, because you don't want to have the same password over and over.
Yeah.
Make sure your financials have, each of them, as much as possible, have a separate password. Your emails, it's better to have separate, but it's okay if you could copy like you have 2-3 different email accounts and have the same password. But do not use those for your financials.
Yeah, and if you have more than one banking institution that you work with, have a different password and name. I mean, I don't use my name or on my bank accounts or my, anything that's personal to me.
Yeah.
I've come up with something crazy things.
Crazy things.
They're crazy things that nobody else is going to really relate to me unless they know me really personally. Okay, so I mean, different ideas. If you are into different types of music that you like, you have a favorite song.
Exactly.
Why not use that? Because I'm friends with you, but I have no idea what your favorite song is.
Exactly.
Okay. So just know what you put there. Don't use somebody's birthday or Like the bank accounts ask you for a maiden name. Don't use that maiden name,
Right.
okay? Don't use any of that stuff. So find something that you're interested in that you use.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
One thing you brought up is very important. Don't come up with simple things. You said that you came up with crazy things, which is very important because right now we don't want to go through that subject, but AI is getting it's growing and growing. Chat GPT is the new.
Well, let's go back
technology.
real quickly and
Sure.
explain what AI is.
AI is an artificial intelligence, is a kind of software. If anyone remember Terminator, the movies, Terminator 2, Terminator 1. Terminator 2 was the robots that had technically brains and everything and then could control the world. So we're getting there, not that fantasy, but we're getting closer that we have software. We can say to the software, I want an essay or I want a agreement between me and my partner with this condition in 30 seconds, the AI will write it for you. The other scary part, as Janice said at the beginning, Brooke, with the name of Brooke call you, it can be AI. So the scary part, they have lots of benefits, but the scary part is maybe someone copy my voice and call Janice and say, hey Janice, this is Arash, right? Especially with the loved one, with the kids, with the parents and all these things. So it's good to have the code in the future, not yet, but very close future with your close family. If something is important, okay, what is the code between us? No one knows except you guys, like 1356, for example, and then you can proceed. So these are very important, and be careful about that someone that call you. Lots of them may not be a real person. They might be AI. They copy someone's voice. Or they create a voice.
Well, I was watching, and I think it was on PBS station. They were having a whole thing on the AI, or even your facial. They were showing the newscasters being done in using the AI,
Exactly,
and
right.
it was really interesting. It had their voice down, it had their facial expressions down, it had everything, and it was really scary.
Right. It was a true story about the Schumacher, the very famous driver.
Okay.
That he was in coma for a while. He had an accident skiing in Switzerland, and then no one knew where it is, and suddenly 2-3 weeks ago in Germany, they had an interview with him, and they found out it was AI. All was built in AI. It wasn't him.
Right.
With his face, with his voice, and everything, and his family was sued that magazine. The magazine the head was fired. Actually.
Yeah, that's really scary. So you don't know who you're talking to, and you don't know. I mean, now you're not even know if that's the real person that you're watching on television anymore.
Exactly. So
and they can say things that you didn't mean to say.
Right. But Janice and I do not want to scare anyone. We just want to inform you to be prepared. So basic things to be started is, like, as we discussed, to make sure we summarize it properly. So passwords. If you get a phone call, scam call, do not reply. Even if you're not sure if it's a real phone call or not, just hang up. You call them. If they say we're from Medicare, as Janice said, they never say we're from Medicare. They're not allowed to say that.
And starting in September, they're not even allowed to use the word Medicare. It's going to be senior citizens health insurance products. It could be worded slightly different than that, but we're not allowed to, and starting in September, to even market using the word Medicare.
They're not allowed to send you email or phone call from IRS, Social Security, unless for email you may give them a permission, but phone call they never call you. But lots of these things, if you need to consult, please consult with someone that knows, a professional in that field. If it's like security, IT, you always can reach us or anyone that you know, or someone that has the knowledge. If it's about Medicare, Janice is always available for you. We're different fields. Ask the professional to consult with them before you act, because preventing is always the best.
That doesn't mean that you can't talk to them on the phone, but if you're dealing with Social Security, the IRS, Medicare, you're going to set up an appointment, and they're going to call you at exactly the time that you set up. It's not going to be 10 minutes later or 10 minutes before. It's going to be at the exact time. But you know that you set up that appointment. But if you get somebody that's just calling you and asking you for your personal information, you hang up and then you call that company directly.
Yes. Yes.
Okay? So Arash, as always, this has been fun.
It's a pleasure to be with you all the time.
Pleasure. I think this is really good information that's out there.
Yes. And I would love that if anyone needs
Our
more
information is out there. They can click on the little side here
sure,
if they're using YouTube or Facebook or Roku, whatever. All our information is there. Anything Arash is, if you call him at the number that's listed over here, he would love to answer your questions. Because this is a subject that we're both concerned about, because we hate seeing people being taken advantage of.
Exactly right.
And it's really sad. Now, one of the things I'm going to ask you is, please give your comments. We're also going to be doing a senior citizen forum and podcast. So if you have something you want to talk about to share, I would love to do a podcast with you. So if you've been hacked, fraud has taken place, and you have an interesting story that you think can help somebody else, I would love to do a 5 to 10 minute podcast with you. So please let me know. All right?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Janice.
much. This is WGSN-DB going so